We'll finally get to it. Danny, I was, like I said, last night I was hanging out with some friends, and they were like, what do you know about Scoot? What do you know about JG? I saw Dame's workout video. What do you know? And I was like, look, dude, I talk with Marang all the time, and there's not a lot of information right now. And then it dawned on me that I hadn't talked to you about Blazers in almost 2 weeks now. Do the Blazers still play basketball?
They do.
Do you still cover them?
I do.
All right.
I have taken my longest break for them in 15 years.
Well, good for you, though. I mean, health reasons wise, you should have. So good on you for that. But I've been watching, the holidays is great because
I will say, I did get to watch both national games on TV.
That's pretty cool.
And I will say, NBC, Amazon, mwah!
It was so funny, too. Both of them, you're asking me from a Blazer Vision log, and I'm like, bro, they're like national games.
On drugs.
I know.
I was like, both times I was like, that's right. I don't need that. I'm good.
Now, we don't have real jobs, so we have plenty of time to watch sports, but the holidays are a nice time to, watch extra sports.
Oh, just put it on.
Yeah, and I've been kind of really glued to the Blazers of late. Since we've been gone, since we've been together, Blazers are 3-3. There's a lot to kind of pull aside from this. I'd like to get an injury question to you in a moment, but let's kind of talk a little bit about what we've seen on the court. Look, Sharp's had himself some nice games.
Yep.
Donovan's been excellent on the boards, offensively and defensively, which is nice.
Monster on the offensive glass.
And Denny's been Denny. I mean, this team has a ton of injuries, but boy, the last 3 games, sure, they're 500, but I've really enjoyed watching basketball. Some of it's a little sloppy. There's been some end-of-game stuffs like, Denny, I swear to God, work on your free throws at the end of the game. And Boston kind of, peed down their leg a little bit at the end of that game. But they've been fun, competitive games for the most part with the Blazers.
They have, and it's kind of crazy. Out of the last 15 games, 11 of them have gone down to the clutch within 5 minutes to go. Only the Mavericks have more, or have as many. It's the Blazers and the Mavs at both at 11. And what you've seen is toss-up. You've seen toss-ups. That's what you've seen. And that's typically what you get out of teams, is you get these opportunities, and it can be frustrating. And I've seen a lot of people, well, I should say this. I've seen some people say, oh, you're making excuses for them. They're missing their entire point guard rotation.
Without a doubt.
I cannot underscore how impactful that is. If I believe Denny Avdija has the largest plus-minus in the league right now. Let me see this. Is on-off rating. I want to double-check it.
Well, since Drew Holiday has been out, Denny Avdija has led the team in assists
every
game but one, and that dates back to November 16th.
I'm sorry. So Denny's differential of plus 13.2 on-off, he is in the 95th percentile. In the points per possession, which is just the offense, he is in the 99th percentile. They are 16 points better with him on the floor. Next on the team is Drew Holiday at 4.2.
And that's a small sample size from Drew Holiday.
Drew has 401 minutes played. Denny is almost at 1,200, almost 3 times the minutes.
And I think I saw only one player in the league has more minutes than Denny Avdija does. At least this was after last night. And I think it's Brandon Ingram for the Toronto Raptors by 1 minute.
So the Blazers offense with Denny on the floor is in the 100th percentile in effective field goal percentage. Nobody impacts a team's ability to shoot more efficiently than Denny Avdija.
Let me ask you a question about this real quick, because, talking with some of my Blazer friends last night, I think it's very safe to say that as much as we love Denny Avdija and how he's really had such a breakout year, and he's going to be an all-star if all things stay the way they are, Denny is also this great because there hasn't been a consistent option, and he's got the ball in his hand all the time. That's safe to say, correct?
I don't think so, because this is the thing we talked about coming
because
into
when
the
that point guard rotation does come back, assuming it does come back, how does Denny's game change?
I don't think it does.
You don't think his points go down a little bit?
If they go down, it's going to be very minor. I think the difference is going to be when Denny checks out, having Scoot, having Drew. When Scoot comes back, when Drew comes back, it will be more about staggering those guys because, again, I just mentioned the difference between Denny on and off is seismic. It's one of the largest in the NBA, however you want to measure it on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, they're better with him on the floor. Like he over the last 15 games, Denny is averaging 26, 8, and 8.
It's great.
On 46, 34, 80 splits. Like he's just been bonkers good. The thing I said coming into the season, and I told you this off air and a couple other folks, we were talking about this coming into the season, the Blazers' plan was always to give Denny the primary burden, be the lead offensive creator. And I think they had Drew kind of run some things and get them into some things because it made it simpler for everybody else as well because he knows how to toggle on and off the ball. Mm-hmm. Where Drew can start some stuff and get you into some stuff and make sure that he puts the rails around things, but he's also perfectly capable deferring. Deferring to Shaden, deferring to Denny, deferring to Jeremy. Those three guys in particular.
Right.
But the Blazers, in talking to them leading up to the season, they told me flat out they wanted to give Denny even more than he could handle. We want to overtax him, not with like get him hurt, but with responsibility, just to see how far it could truly go. Now, the burden has fallen on him because of the injuries.
Right.
That is where he is at right now. But he is also the only guys that are doing more than him right now are Nikola Jokic, SGA, Luka Doncic, Cade Cunningham. That's the list.
That's the MVP list.
Yes. And Jokic is going to fall out of that list with this injury. Boy, that was scary as hell. I'm so glad he didn't tear his knee.
I can't believe he walked off like that. I was like, bro, get some help.
Your knee went the wrong way.
You're larger than everybody else. And let's get into that. Let's get into injuries. Look, I'm not going to sit here and ask you about Scoot. You know, we'll know about Scoot when everybody knows.
I'll just tell everybody this right now. I'm going to ask tonight. Yeah. I've asked before, and I've pressed before. He tore his hamstring. Mm-hmm. I said from the jump when I broke the news, if he makes it back by Christmas, things went well. Guess what?
Christmas was a few days ago, dude.
And we're not there. That's what it is. Like that was the best for me. He tore his hamstring. His best possible outcome was always Christmas.
Yeah,
that's best case scenario.
And now we're probably looking at the All-Star break. But I wanted to ask you a question because I don't know the contingency plan and what it looks like in the NBA. It looks like tonight Blazers are in Oklahoma City, 5:00 tip. I know you love an away at 5:00 tip for show. Sundays are your favorite days too because they're like even if they're
3
home games,
baby.
The home games at 3:00. It sounds like Chris Murray might be out tonight.
Yeah, he took was it a thigh contusion? So he's dinged up too.
So then that tells me there is no.
And Chris has hit the floor so many freaking times this season. I talked to him about it one game. I think I mentioned it on air. He started wearing knee pads because he tore the skin off his knee so many times. It was like, yeah, I needed to. He said something about wearing white knee pads. He was like, yeah, I kept bleeding through them. I'm like, dog, throw on black ones.
So no Blake Wesley, no Matisse Thybulle, no Chris Murray, no Damian Lillard, no Drew Holiday, no Scoot Henderson, no Jeremy Grant. Am I missing anybody else? No, I think that's it.
That's it for the actual, like the on the injury report.
On the injury report. What happens if you only get like 6 guys that can suit up?
Well, they have with that because of the 2 ways. I think they're at 10. No, it should be 9, I think, with Chris is out.
Yeah, with like Javonte Cook, et cetera,
yes.
City, things like that.
Yes.
But what happens if you get to a point where you only have 6 or 7 guys that can
it's funny that you mentioned that because I was at a Trailblazers-Warriors game years ago. I want to say this is 2009. It's the last game of the regular season. Don Nelson is coaching the Warriors.
Oh, the great Donnie Nelson.
And I believe it was Devin George fouled out of the game.
I know that player.
And he had to, there was a player that got hurt during the game that had to check back in because that took them down to 4 players. And so I think it was Ronnie Turioff had to check into the game
legend, Ronnie
and
Turioff.
Foul to show that he was no longer capable of playing. And I believe it was George came back on. And every time he was allowed to play, even though he was disqualified because they had nobody else, every time he committed a foul after that, it would be also a technical foul.
Oh,
now,
okay.
It was only like 4 minutes left, but oh my God, Nelly had a colossal stomping, fist-pumping, spittle going everywhere tirade on the sideline of like, I can't play him. He's hurt.
So basically what you're telling me is the NBA just says, you got 5 guys, you're good to go.
You figure it out. But You can't. I've had a lot of people ask me about hardship contracts. So you have to have 4 players out consecutively for at least 3 games, and all 4 players need to be out for at least 2 more weeks. The reason
I can name 4 off the top of my head right now.
Well, here's the thing. Tease, Drew, and Jeremy are close. So if you give them a 2-week designator, they can't come back.
Right. So it's kind of they're still hopeful that it's kind of, I was laughing about the meme, the hard wink meme when Thiago says that Jeremy's going to be out only a couple of days. But in reality, they do think he's close to coming back.
So, and the same thing with Tease. Tease did not have a lower body injury. I've seen Tease going through pregame warm-ups. He's had a soft wrap on his hand.
Tease Thibault. Be nice to have him back.
Yeah, no, it'd be having another guard. He's not a ball handler, but just have you know who wants to see Tease back? Tumani.
Yeah, I bet.
Brother, give me a break. Somebody else come guard somebody. I am tired. Somebody else pick up SGA. Somebody else pick up Donovan Mitchell. Somebody else pick up Jaylen Brown. For the love of God, I am tired.
By the way, side note, Jaylen Brown.
Oh, that first half.
Dude.
Oh.
Well, I think
Two stuffed him in a locker in the second half, though.
I think he scored 30 points consecutively in a game more times than Larry Legend himself did.
He was really good in that first half, man. And look, he was talking cash ass for a reason because he was on one. But shout out to he took that challenge on in the second half and absolutely bodied up Jaylen Brown. And then Cooper Flagg, love him. Talked a lot of trash to 2, and 2 let him know what was going. Like, I think 2 has had a really good last 10 days. It's good to see him bounce back, not only defensively, but offensively. He's found his shot over the last couple of weeks.
He's picking them in the right moments.
The thing that 2 needs to be careful of is this has happened a lot recently. He's been picking up those loose ball fouls, and he's fouled out of games. He's found himself in foul trouble. They cannot afford him to be in foul trouble.
No, and that's to your point about getting Matisse Thybulle back would help that a lot. I'd like to give a lot of flowers, and we'll get out of here because we're already up against it. But I think I already mentioned it, but I'd love to give a shout out to Shaden Sharp, and I'd love to give a shout out to Donovan Clingan.
Both those guys have been balling.
They've been really, really good, and it's not just the stats. It's you've been screaming about Shaden and his off-ball movement. I've seen that improve. I've insanely seen that improve.
Decision making has been, the Boston game definitely was for about 3 minutes for Shea. Other than that, I thought he was great.
He's had some nice dunks of late, which are always fun.
Look, he got the run out.
The horizontal one. Did you see that?
God, yeah, but no. He's had some breakaway runouts where he's just pushed it over the rim. And I'm like, absolutely not.
No, dude, back your ass up and start running.
Go. Show out. I've said this for years. Steph, Braun, KD, they are showmen. They know Ant Edwards is a showman. When it's time to show out, show out. Shea got the runway, windmill, in game. Yes, do that.
And I love that Donovan Clingan is getting rebounds on both ends of the court now.
Yes.
That was the missing piece. You can't be a good rebounder on only one side of the floor. And he's sprinkling a little offense.
He's been incredible around the rim for him.
I just want to give the kids a lot of props.
His field goal percentage 2 weeks ago was 48%. Over the last 2 weeks, it is 61%. Why? Because he's dunking the damn ball.
Just do it, dude. You're huge.
And he's been really good on his putbacks where I think it was Mike Richmond said it the other day. Donovan Clingan when he gets an offensive rebound, he Rodmans it, which means he doesn't go back up. He kicks it out immediately. He's gotten a lot of offensive rebounds lately where he's looked around and go, I'm 7'3", 290 pounds.
Go for it, big fella.
Just put this over the top of your head. And guess what? It works.